Hello, everyone. We are at the end. We are here, and we are in chapter 6, Isaiah chapter 6, and we are in the last verses, 11 to 13. So, all this week we did chapter 6. And so, the last verses I'll read to you. And hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. So, the last verses, verse 11. Then I said, Lord, how long? He's asking a question. And he answered, until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitants. The houses are without a man. The land is utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. But yet a tenth will be in it, and will return and be for consuming. As a terebinth tree or as an oak whose stump remains when it is cut down. So the holy seed shall be its stump. Mm. Now, this passage from Isaiah chapter 6, verses 11 and 13 is a sobering prophecy. Isaiah asks the Lord how long the people will remain unresponsive to his message. And the Lord responds with a vision of desolation and exile. The city will be laid waste, the land will be desolate, and the people will be removed far away. However, there is a glimmer of hope in verse 13. A remnant, symbolized by the stump of the cherubic or oak tree, will remain. This holy seed represents the faithful few who will survive and eventually bring renewal. Now, we go to the very, very, very first line. And then I said, Lord, how long? He asked this question, Lord, how long? This is a question from anyone who is given such a difficult um, commission. It was difficult. Do I have to preach to those who won't hear? And their rejection of my message will ultimately seal their doom? How long will I have to serve in that kind of ministry? He asked the question. And he comes back and says, until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitants. This answers the question of how long Isaiah was to preach. He should preach until destruction comes. He should preach in hope of the restoration of the remnant. Even though Isaiah's ministry was difficult, it was not without hope. There's always hope, everyone. It's when everything looks like it's gone and nothing, there's always hope. And before consuming, the remnant will indeed return. But even the remnant will eventually be judged. Israel was not done being disobedient when they returned from Babylon captivity, and God was not done bringing his judgment on a disobedient Israel. I'm going to pause right there. So the devastation, great as it was to be, would not be total. But even its survivors would have to submit to further judgment. The illustration from nature, however, introduced an element of hope. And before I close this out, to know the purpose of God's message gives a great shock to Isaiah. Even worse news followed. Enemies will destroy the land. They will carry off nearly all the inhabitants to a foreign country. And just like in verse 13, very few people will remain. But God will use those few to give Israel a new beginning. So I want to just give you something here, basically saying there's hope. And how just a few people remains, but God will use those few to give Israel a new beginning. So there's always hope. So I hope you enjoyed the whole chapter 6 I had given this week. I hope that you got a word, you got an inspiration, you got something out of it. And just, I know Isaiah is 66 books is big, but even if you don't continue to read Isaiah, continue to read. I don't care if you just read a line or two a day. Just keep feeding yourself the word, and keep praying, and keep giving honor to your Father, and always ask God to change your heart daily. And as always, I enjoy doing this with you all week, and I will bring out some new material to you soon. And always, God love you. I love you. Stay true to yourself, and you be truly blessed.